to another Woodhouse Wings of Liberty StarCraft 2 cast. And today I'm bringing you some games that I believe were on the BWC ladder. I'm not 100% sure. Somebody, if you recognize any of these maps or the players, be sure to let me know. But spawning down here in the bottom right-hand side of this map, we have the Zerg player making a triumphant showing in the BWC, actually. We have Acer Scarlett. And her opponent spawning up here. Oh, and we had a little bit of a pause in the middle there. Spawning as the blue Protoss pieces, we have the quote-unquote Kingslayer himself, still playing Wings of Liberty to this day, even with Heart of the Swarm looming on the horizon. We have NaNiwa. Now really, I say Wings of Liberty looming on the horizon. It is literally less than a month away. Today is February 12th. We're getting there. We're getting there. Stay tuned actually for more details on this this channel. I'm going to be playing through the Wings of Liberty campaign as well as the Heart of the Swarm campaign as soon as I get it. So it should be good times to be had by all, and that will actually all be streamed since I'm getting my internet fixed here at the end of this month. So we do see the first Overlord. Wow, I am having some troubles this morning. I'm sorry, everybody. See the first Overlord from Scarlett. Gonna come over here and fly right over the shark with no eyes, apparently. Apparently that shark just doesn't have eyes. This is actually kind of an interesting map, and it is a tournament map. We do see the neutral supply depots, but I honestly cannot say that I've seen this map before, so this is why, if somebody knows it, feel free to correct me below. Also, if you know where these games are actually from, and I'm actually just full of shit saying that they're from the BWC, please feel free to correct me. I'm more than okay with that. Do you see NaNiwa just going for the standard good old one-gate assimilator, no fancy FFE, although NaNiwa is notorious for the FFE or die trying mentality. Not going to happen here. Spawning pool just now getting thrown down for Scarlett. It's not even about a quarter of the way done. Her expansion did go down first, so she did actually opt to go hatch then pool. NaNiwa, though, going one gate expand behind no cybernetics core whatsoever. Usually when you see this, players will throw down the cyber core just so that you can get that early stalker out as well and continue to apply pressure if need be and get some map control while you're on it. And Scarlett is going to see exactly everything that is going on here. There's actually nothing that can shoot up for NaNiwa at this point. This is a GSL map, so I don't know that they ever met in a GSL, so I'm going to go ahead and positively say that it was the BWC. We do see a third hatchery coming out of Scarlett, so pretty standard play now from, I would say, almost any Zerg player to see an early expo by Protoss and then feel free to go ahead and take your third because they know that there's no threat coming. Cybernetics core for NaNiwa just about done. Second assimilator also in the main just about done. Scarlett also seeing everything that is going on. NaNiwa on the other hand still I don't believe has seen, no, he has not seen the third, but is he going to get it? Yes he is. He does know the third is there. So both players actually completely aware of what's going on now with the other. Scarlett going to go ahead and take the first extractor in her main, and oh my god, that is a huge shark flying above Scarlett's natural. I didn't notice that before now. NaNiwa not so lucky. There's no big sharks over here. Damn it. First stalker coming for NaNiwa. So actually NaNiwa not too bad of a play there, opting to go for stalker first after the Nexus first. This way he can take some map control. And it looks like now he's just going to set that on patrol, probably to try and pick off this Overlord, should it ever come in, so that the Overlord doesn't actually get vision. The Overlord down here, though, does have perfect vision of everything that is going on in this natural. NaNiwa finally throwing down a forge, going to feel a little bit safer now. Scarlett starting to get 3 bases up and running. If we look at the units tab right now, 26 to 28 worker count in the favor of NaNiwa, and a Stargate coming out from NaNiwa. So at this point, in previous games on this channel, we've seen the Stargate play come into effect a couple of times, pretty unsuccessfully by EG's Huck in, like I said, some previous games. The Stalker going to drive away the Lings. So right now, NaNiwa doing actually a pretty good job of keeping everything, oh god, I don't know if that's a big blunder or not, or if he's literally just going to try and win this with air units. NaNiwa doing kind of what Huck did against Idra and finding out that it didn't work so hot. We're going to have to see, though, if NaNiwa decides to continue just production off this. And we do see a Void Ray coming out now. So at this point, actually, everything looks pretty identical to Huck in those last games. You know, you can go back and look at them. Huck did something similar to this into tacking down a bunch of gateways. We're going to have to see if NaNiwa decides to do that. Going ahead and taking his third geyser. Coming back up here to Scarlett's base, though, we do see an evolution chamber coming out. Not choosing to wall off her front. Not that bad of an idea. Roachmorn also coming down. Scarlett now, just out of curiosity, with 6 Lings and Metabolic Boost on the way, 47 workers to 40 probes. So Scarlett jumping way ahead in the worker count, as we see right there. And NaNiwa just continuing to build up his forces as per usual. Another Void Ray going to come out, as we do see the first one a lot slower than Phoenix's. Void Rays are kind of the fat kids until Heart of the Swarm. And NaNiwa actually revealing that Void Ray. So his plan has been foiled. These Lings are out on the map seeing everything that is going on. The Phoenix did take a little bit of hull damage here from the Queens that are there. A Spore Crawler, an appropriate answer from Scarlett. Actually throwing down Spore Crawlers at all of her bases at this point. So pretty standard stuff from Scarlett at this point in terms of a response. NaNiwa with the pylon wall off at the front, making sure that he's not supply blocked first and foremost, and making for sure that everything stays powered. These Lings are just going to keep camping out here, waiting to see what happens. NaNiwa, on the other hand, continuing to poke around with these air units, trying to find a vulnerability in Scarlett's defense. An infestation pit coming out of Scarlett. So at this point, everything is pretty standard. And actually, we do see now, finally, a really, really late warp gate. So this is a pretty standard style that I'm going to extrapolate here that we probably would have seen out of Huck had Idra not been trying to ram units down his throat. So, let's see, another hatchery. Is that a macro hatch? Yes, it is. We do see a macro hatch coming out of Scarlett now, so she does have enough money that she feels confident to throw that down just to continue to do the damage to her opponent. NaNiwa going to lift up Scarlett's Queen, but not actually going to kill it. Right now, actually, Scarlett also doing a really good job of creep spread. We do see a little bit of a gap here, but her other bases are pretty well established with that. NaNiwa going to poke out here, trying to see if he can clear those Lings up. More Lings and a 4th coming out of Scarlett. Now, this is not a good position for NaNiwa to be in. Usually, you want to try and keep up with your opponent in terms of bases, especially if you're playing a Zerg. Or playing a Zerg, not as Zerg, excuse me. As Zerg, you want to be 1 base up on your opponent at all times. NaNiwa just continuing, though, to, it seemed like there for a while, produce Void Rays, but he does have a fairly sizable gateway army now. He's sitting on how many sentries? 9 sentries right now. So using a lot of gas for sentries. He still has a little bit in the bank, but at this point Scarlett continuing to make roaches and starting that infestor production. Pathogen glands also on the way for Scarlett. So all in all, some pretty good stuff, but we do see the big push from NaNiwa coming out. This air-aided assault from NaNiwa going to do some serious damage, charging up on those rocks, trying to get the Void Rays fully charged before he engages the army of Scarlett. Scarlett really doesn't have that much to defend here. She is ahead in supply, but if we go ahead and look at the units tab, most of that's in workers, and here's the engagement. Good force field by NaNiwa. Able to hold some of that back. 1 fungal goes off, 2 fungals go off. NaNiwa not able to get the sentries out of there in time, losing a bunch of Void Rays. NaNiwa with a not so great engagement there. Those infestors for Scarlett popped out at the right time. We do see some more Void Rays going down. Scarlett trying to push this probably a little too much. 1 Queen getting trapped in there. 1 more is probably going to go down in the front. More good force field by NaNiwa. The Queen does go down, and a few more roaches. But to quote some of the casters of League of Legends, at what cost was this to NaNiwa? That was a lot of really expensive units. Scarlett at this point can literally just throw away roaches. She's sitting on almost 4 bases, has her macro hatch. She's continuing to flood units. This Void Ray from NaNiwa getting completely pounded and gets killed by this Spore Crawler. NaNiwa, you want to save those. NaNiwa forced to retreat just a little bit back to this pylon. And actually, it looks like he's going to retreat even farther. So Scarlett is going to stabilize. NaNiwa in not so great of a position now. Still has not taken a 3rd. This was one of those pushes that basically needed to win him the game. Otherwise, this was going to happen. Scarlett right now sitting at 170 supply to 85 of NaNiwa. Free sacrificial roach there in the middle of the map. And NaNiwa coming up here to try and take out this base from Scarlett. Does know something's up there. Level 1 armor on the way for NaNiwa. And NaNiwa actually now in full retreat. He knows exactly what Scarlett is doing. Oh, is NaNiwa going to get the hatchery? Maybe not. Scarlett with a good defense there. Does manage to save that hatchery. Pops out another Overlord in time. We do see just queens marching across the map. This is going to be, I almost want to say this is going to be the final push for Scarlett. She has, if we look at the units tab just to make sure, we have 7 infestors out on the board, a spire on the way, and another evolution chamber. Wow, and okay, there we go. Oh, not such a great unit, or not such a great engagement. Leading with the infestors there for Scarlett. This Void Ray is going to get taken down by the infested Terran since they are still not nerfed. NaNiwa in a world of hurt right now as he has a bunch of roaches pushing down his front. This one cannon and a few stalkers is not going to be enough, especially once the roaches actually bust through. And they do exactly that. NaNiwa able to trap a couple of roaches there with force fields and keep some stuff out, but ultimately this is going to be a world of hurt for NaNiwa. Scarlett almost doubling him in supply, and is doubling him in supply, and NaNiwa with the GG. So ladies and gentlemen, if you liked what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you have replays, be sure to follow the instructions below, and we'll see you for game number 2.